In the last 2 years, I basically 7x my productivity when it came to my academics. And so the work that would take me 1 week to finish, I can now do in one single day. And that kind of enabled me to get good grades while having enough time to put it into my fitness, my business, my content creation, and everything else that I want to focus on. And so if you're a university student that wants to learn exactly how to increase their productivity and get more work done in a short amount of time, then this video will do exactly that for you. And the reason why I even wanted to make this video is because a few days ago I was talking to my friend and he was asking me about an assignment that was due in 2 days or 3 days. And he was asking me if I've already finished the assignment. And I was like, yeah, I finished it like a week ago, maybe even 2 weeks ago. And then he was basically asking like, how do you even get the time for that? Because we have the same courses, but I just finished the assignment a week ago already. And so I was thinking about like how far I've come from finishing my assignments the day before or the night of or like 10 minutes before the due date, right? And sometimes even handing in my assignments late. And I know a lot of you are in the same place. But now I've actually set systems and habits that ensure that I actually get the work done faster and before a long time. That's why I don't get the stress of having to worry about the assignment that's due the same night that I'm working on it. And so when I was thinking about why I was always handing in my assignments just before it was due or even a bit late. And that was because I just gave my assignments so much more time than they needed. And so if the assignment is due in 1 week, even if I started it a week before, I would still just finish it the same night. And that's probably what you guys struggle with as well. It's like even if you start doing the assignment early, you'll still finish it just before the due date. And this actually refers to Parkinson's law, and it states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. And so if you give the task 1 week to complete it, then you're going to take pretty much that whole week. But let's say even if the assignment is due in 1 week, what if you give it 1 day? What if you give it 2 days max? And so today and tomorrow, even though you'll have 5 extra days until it's due, only give yourself 2 days to actually complete the task. And that way, you'll actually do the task and finish it in 2 days. Because the thing is, the task is probably not worth 7 days of work. It's worth 2 days at max, maybe even 1 day. If you really put your mind to it and put like 2 or 3 hours into this task of deep work, then you will finish the work. And so that's exactly the systems that I put in so that I actually finish tasks like in like less than 3 hours. Instead of taking the whole week and doing 10 minutes every single day. It's like you do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you want to watch a YouTube video or you want to do something else. You want to hop onto the next task. As soon as your assignment gets a bit hard, you want to go start another assignment because the easiest part is just starting the assignment and making the Word document and putting in the template and whatever. But as soon as it gets to time to think and write and actually solve problems, that's when it gets hard, and then you switch to the next assignment. So you'll have a bunch of assignments that are only 10% completed, but then you only stress when it's due the same day. Then it's like, okay, I have to actually do it, and then you rush the assignment, and then the assignment quality is not as good, and then you get worse grades. But if you just did it in 1 day, way before it's due, you won't have the stress of having to rush it, but you'll get the assignment done and with good quality. And that's exactly the system that I established in order to get assignments done quickly and actually with good quality. And you might say, okay, I'll give myself the 1 day, but how am I gonna guarantee that I do it in 1 day? What if I just slack off and it's like, okay, but I still have to do it, it's due, right? The thing is, you should add tasks in the other day so that you know you won't be free to do the assignment tomorrow. And so if you put the task that you're supposed to do for today, and then tomorrow you put another task that you're supposed to do, then you know that if you skip today, you're going to have 2 assignments to do tomorrow. So you'll be more motivated to just get it done with, right? So you want to add friction so that you actually finish the task when you assign time to do it. And even after implementing the system, a lot of you might still just not get the work done. You might just feel too lazy, or you won't have the energy or the focus and whatever. And so we want to actually create a lifestyle so that you can actually consistently get work done. It's not like 1 day you get work done and then 5 other days you just slack off and you procrastinate. And the first thing that you should do is just waking up early. And so wake up early, maybe 3 hours, 2 hours before you go to your classes, before you have a gym workout or whatever. Whatever the first task that you're supposed to do in your day, just wake up 2 hours earlier. And so if you wake up at 8 a.m. Currently, wake up at 6. But if your classes are at 9 a.m., wake up at 6. That way you have 2 hours of solid deep work that you can put into your assignment or whatever other tasks that you have to do. By waking up early, by waking up before everyone else in the house, no distractions. If you wake up early, then you also have the intention of doing work. You're not gonna scroll on your phone at 6 a.m. That just does not make any sense. If you're a person that scrolls on their phone when they wake up at 6 a.m. with the intention to do work, then I don't even know what to tell you. So wake up early and then couple that with the task of eating the frog. And what eating the frog means, that might sound weird, but comes from the book called Eat That Frog. And it's basically doing the most difficult task in your day first thing in the morning. So the phrase eat the frog comes from a story where it's like you either have to decide to eat a frog first or eating a nice meal first. So if you had to eat these two dishes, the frog and the nice meal, right? Would you eat the frog first and then nice meal after? Or would you eat the meal first and then the frog after? And so logically, right, if you think about it, you would want to eat the frog first and then eat the nice meal after, so that you kind of cleanse your taste buds and get that nice taste afterwards. So you kind of want to do the harder thing first, and then at the end of your day, you do your shallow tasks. You do your, I don't know, your writing notes, your textbook readings, your highlighting, whatever it might be, so that it just feels easier to do. You've already done the harder things that you're supposed to do today. And once you implement the eat the frog task with waking up early, then you also want to optimize your diet, your exercise, and your sleep so that you always get constant energy. You never feel too fatigued, you never feel burnt out, and you never feel mentally drained. And so with your diet, you don't want to really eat as soon as you wake up. Like, do the eat the frog task. Maybe before you go to your classes, then you can have your first meal. And even when you eat your first meal, you don't want to have any complex carbs like some oats or grains, because that will just make you feel so lethargic. How about just simple carbs like a date or a banana or some honey? Because that way you'll get a boost of glucose and a boost of energy, but you won't feel too heavy, you won't feel sleepy. Because whenever you eat like a really dense meal with a lot of complex carbs, you're just gonna feel like you just want to take a nap. Like your body's working hard to digest, and there's no way you're gonna do deep work. Also, just focus on getting a breakfast that's higher in protein and fats, because that way you'll feel full but also light at the same time, right? It's not gonna feel as dense and heavy. And then with your exercise, you kind of want to do that sometime after you eat the frog task. Because after you do the eat the frog task, you're going to feel kind of drained out. It's like I just did 2 hours, 3 hours of actual deep work where I put my mind into this one task. And it's like you just feel mentally drained out. It's like there's no way I'm going to do all this other work. So if you kind of go to the gym or do your exercise after that, then you're going to get a mental break, right? And so that's what happens when a lot of the time when people play sports or exercise in general. It's like you forget about the homework, you forget about the assignments, you forget about anything else that's consuming your brain, and you kind of get a mental break. And that way your workout will actually energize you to do more work, even though it might sound contradicting, because when you work out, you're like also using energy, but for some reason it just re-energizes you mentally. And then your third health pillar is sleep. So we talked about diet and exercise, and now we want to optimize our sleep. And so try to sleep so that you can get at least 8 hours. So if let's say you want to wake up at 6 a.m., like we said, right? So then you want to sleep probably at least at 10, maybe even 9 if you want to get 9 hours. And this means actually like being in bed at 10, not getting ready to sleep at 10. And then that actually means also increasing your fatigue levels, so that if you actually properly drain yourself mentally and physically, you'll be tired enough to actually sleep. That means sleeping in a colder room so you can sleep more effectively and faster. It's also sleeping in a darker room, like a fully dark room, right? This means actually dimming your room even 2 hours before you sleep, so that by the time you sleep, you're already adjusted to low levels of light so you can sleep more effectively. That means also supplementing and taking something like magnesium L-threonate, so that it actually helps you sleep as well. And so all of this will actually go into your sleep and it will re-energize you for the next day so you can actually put in proper work. And so even if you implement 10%, 20% of the things that I said today, then you will see an increase in your productivity. You will see an increase in the amount of work you do and the amount of time that you spend in for each task. But you just want to focus mainly on giving your task not too long of a time. Give them the time that they actually require. Give them the time that they deserve, right? And so if you wanted to learn more about productivity and how to become an academic weapon and how to also use that in your self-improvement journey and optimizing your diet, your exercise, your sleep, all of that is in my community, Frontline Academy. And it's going to be the first link in the description. Apart from that, thanks for watching and take care, boss.